Welcome back to MakerCon Rise of the Fandoms, Collecting Comics, Part 2. Here are 7 words and phrases to know as you begin to collect comics. Number 1, continuity. This is where a comic book's narrative has a past, such as an origin story, victories and defeats, which might also be shared amongst the stories of other comic books. This allows characters like Batman and Superman to exist in the same universe. Number 2, retcon, short for retroactive continuity. This is when a past event in a character's history is changed, even though the story might be new. This might be done to allow for new story elements or to update a character. For instance, Bucky Barnes, Captain America's sidekick, was presumably killed during World War II, but Marvel Comics retroconned the character in the 1990s to become the Winter Soldier. Number 3, story arc and crossover. A story arc is an extended or continuing storyline that spreads over multiple issues of a comic book. For example, Wonder Woman, Gods and Mortals, published in the 1980s. A crossover is when story elements of 2 or more major characters come together to create one storyline across multiple titles. Think of how all the Marvel movies came together in Endgame. That's a crossover event. Number 4, variants. A variant cover is an alternative cover of a single issue. It might be the art of a different artist, and there are often fewer of these available, but this does not mean that variant covers of issues are more valuable. Number 5, manga and manhwa. Manga are Japanese comics and manhwa come from Korea. These comics are read right to left as opposed to left to right like Western comics, so their front covers appear to be on the back. Number 6, grading. Comics are often graded on a scale of 1 to 10, from mint condition, 10, perfectly pristine, to 1, poor, a badly damaged comic. Grading allows sellers to establish a base price for that issue. More on grading in Part 3 for the serious collector. Number 7, slabbed or slabbing. Slabbing a comic means sending it to a professional service to be encased in a plastic enclosure to keep the comic in its present condition. More on that in Part 3 as well. Now you know the lingo, time to go pro. Tune in for Part 3 of Comic Collecting 101 in MakerCon, Rise of the Fandoms. Sources consulted.